You are the only one stand, and I don't remember the rest of the song. Hello and welcome everyone, Dude Man Down 3 here /DM20000, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advanced. Released in 2003 by Nintendo, apparently. Wow, that's a full 12 years since this thing's been released. And I think a full 10 since I first played through this game. Alright, so as you can see, I'm currently playing through this on the Virtual Console, but there's a reason why I wanted to start a Fire Emblem Let's Play. Yeah, of all things, why would I decide to play through Fire Emblem? Well, if you've been catching up with my streams, I believe I mentioned it a couple of times, like, I guess when I'm having conversations with my friends, or maybe in some parts of games that I've done, but yeah, I'm so far in a very Fire Emblem-like mood. But there's good reason for it, and it's because Fire Emblem Fates, which is the next game released for the 3DS, is coming out sometime 2016, and from everything that I am seeing out of that game so far, it looks like a pretty fucking awesome game. And the huge amounts of uploads of the Japanese version being uploaded on YouTube doesn't help either, so that is one of the reasons why I wanted to play through a lot of the Fire Emblem games. More specifically the GBA ones, because those are the ones that I grew up with. Well, I only played through Fire Emblem 7, I own Sacred Stones and I'm currently working on it, but for the first game that we're going to be playing through, I'm going to be playing through Fire Emblem released on the GBA, and there is no subtitle for this because this was the first Fire Emblem game that was released in the US. Yep, before then it was a Japanese exclusive series, and this is technically the 7th game in the series. So if you thought that Final Fantasy had it bad with continuity or numbering, then, well, look no further for the Fire Emblem games. It took us until the 7th game to start getting these things. Fortunately, we have Smash Brothers and Advance Wars to thank for these two, because it heightened the popularity of them in the Americas. So, this being the first game in the series, well, I don't know if it justifies this sort of thing, but one interesting mechanic is that you're able to create your own character. Well, I say create your own character when you're just an idealized figurehead. But you get to set your name, your birth month, and your gender. Your gender changes up some dialogue. Because I know with a certain character would be more comfortable with you as a female. And your birth month determines your, I guess, your affinity, because that's how it works with the other units in the game, but I honestly don't know what else it affects. And if anyone's able to let me know on that, I'm not entirely sure about it. But we start off with the first chapter with the prologue, the girl from the plains. And, well, we apparently woke up unconscious on said plains. I can draw out as many comparisons to Fire Emblem Awakening as possible. In fact, I think Awakening actually drew some bits of inspiration from this game. But we first meet our lord of this game, or at least our lord for these set of chapters, who is Lyn. Will you share your story with me? I have no story. I presume that I have lost all my memories and ended up in this world for some reason. I don't know, there must be some convoluted time-traveling thing that must have happened. I don't know. Who knows what may have happened? Oh no, bandits, they may have come from the Burned Mountains. I wonder what other comparisons I can make with these sort of thing anyways. But yeah, this is the first chapter, which will just introduce us to the very basics of how Fire Emblem works. And no, I cannot use a weapon, at least not until Awakening, where I can wield both a sword and a tome. But I'm a tactician, and this is our job throughout the story. We're represented by that green unit there. I think there's minor differences between, like, picking the male and the female version, but what I find interesting is that the dude's dressed in robes. So, wow, there really are a lot of connections you can make with Fire Emblem Awakening. Well, Fire Emblem Awakening wanted to be more or less... if it didn't do well, it was intended on being the last game before they just moved on from Fire Emblem. So I guess they wanted to really culminate everything together into one idealized package for Fire Emblem. It worked out in the end, at least. It sold over 2 million units, and we are getting another game. So, first bit of combat, and the first things first, I am increasing the game speed and detect speed because this game is slow when you want it to be. If you notice that text, it was moving really slowly, as in letter by letter per second. So I wanted to speed it up because, well, look, it's much faster now. And I'd rather deal with that rather than just like beep, 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 beep. Like what, do they think I'm that slow enough to read? I know this game was meant for kids, I think, but I don't think we needed to go with that slow of a text. Although it could be just read by me, a college student, but whatever. I know it's been like a year since I played through this game, but even I don't need that sort of thing. But it demonstrated movement there. Basically, whatever the blue touches is where you can move, and whatever the red touches is where you can attack. Blue already covers the red as well, so you can attack within the blue range too. Now, when you press the R button on units, you can check out their stats and, well, general information about the unit that you're highlighting. In this case, I'm highlighting Lyn, who is going to be our Lord for these sets of chapters. A Lord is this special class in where, if these units die, your game is over. So, don't let that happen. But there are 3 types of Lords in this game. In this case, she is sort of a Blade Lord. If you cross a Nomad with a Myrmidon, you've pretty much got Lyn. And the thing that Lyn aces most in is that she's a very speedy unit, as in her speed was the highest stat above everything if you noted from the status screen. And also, her skill also goes up as well, but the only thing that she doesn't ace well in is, I believe, defense. But then again, resistance isn't really well done by a lot of units other than mages, but she's not a very defensive Lord, so that's something to be careful with. Victory, but... and she is in need of vulneraries. This is a very minor mechanic, but if you have first aid... okay, Lyn, I don't really need to know about what Gurs do, or... I don't even really care what Gurs do, actually. I mean, she has that little hut right over there in the bottom right corner, and then there's those massive huts that are in the top left. I wonder why she doesn't live there, but oh well. Alright, so first aid, basically, if you have a vulnerary or something of that nature, you can heal up units on the field without the need of a cleric. Now I wonder why she's thanking me for choosing it for her, because she could have easily done that herself. What, did I just take the thing from her satchel and decide, hey Lyn, you may need this, here, I'll feed it for you, no problem. In fact, I don't even know what a vulnerary is. Is it like a potion or something? Like a first aid spray? I'm not entirely sure. Also, I need to mention for this in the prologue, this is entirely automated. It really shows you where you're supposed to position your units, and I believe by the game's programming, it falls however way that you... that is why it's so railroaded. So, whatever happens here is already predetermined, so you don't have to worry about, like, losing, unless, I don't know, you manage to screw up somehow, but I'm pretty sure the game would prevent you from doing that. Also, she managed to get a critical hit with 1% rate. Well, call Lyn lucky, even though she has a luck of 5. And so, wow, her speed is 10. Alright, so the main point of this mission is to just seize the Gur that Bandit Bada was guarding. And so we just provide our Lord unit there and then press seize. Okay, this thing is just going over level ups. Level ups are easy to understand. I mean, it's just... these are, you meet 100 points, just like Paper Mario, and then you level up. Congratulations, you get boosts in stats and whatnot. The thing about leveling up in this game is that there are certain percentages that ranges from different characters, as in some units would get higher percentage rates for certain stats than others. I believe I mentioned for Lyn's case that her top ones were speed and skill, which is I believe 60%. So, that's pretty good. Although she doesn't really have the attack stat to back it up as much, but hey, if she's speedy, then she can at least double hit. Yeah, I want you to get permission from your parents. Lyn in this game, I believe, is 18, I think. In the Japanese version, she's like 15. I think they changed it for the sake of Americas, and, well, she's the last of her tribe, and, well, she wants to get stronger so she can defend who she loves. But I'm so young, and our people were old-fashioned, they wouldn't follow a woman. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth, Lyn. Man, that must have been a long time if that has happened. Yikes. But we will journey with Lyn, make her stronger, and go on this journey with her. At least to the ends of the earth, maybe. I wonder what her end goal was. Was she like gonna try and take the battle to those bandits or something? Oh, train me and yo, sure, yeah, we'll go. We'll adventure. We're better off working together. Oh yeah, we will. Okay, this line right here, you'll be my master strategist and I'll be your peerless warrior. I really like this line. The thing about Fire Emblem 7, at least in comparison with the other two campaigns in this game, Lyn is the only one that provides a lot of emphasis towards the tactician, as in she treats you like an actual person with a sort of decision making. While in the other campaigns it's kinda... there are some parts where they bring you up, but it isn't as much as I would have liked. Lyn is the only one that's like, you are important, you help me make these decisions, I will journey with you to the ends of the earth to fulfill whatever goal, and that's what I really like about Lyn's campaign. I don't know, I haven't spoken with other Fire Emblem players about the subject, but what is the opinion of Lyn? I've heard that, well, there's one person that I watched that played through a couple of Fire Emblem games that I don't think he had like the highest opinion of Lyn, but oh well. Now we officially start with Chapter 1, where things actually get a little bit more interesting. So we stop by a town just to buy some supplies for our journey. Oh my heart, what a dazzling vision of loveliness! Oh, who's this joker? Oh, beauteous one, would you not favor me with your name, or better yet your company? Take me home. Let me take you home. Wow, what a thing to have in a frickin' kids game. Well, I argue kids home. Home to callow oafs with loose tongues. Oh man, I love you. I love Lyn Snark. Yeah, I have nothing more to say either. Let's just leave this joker to his dreams. That's what I like about Fire Emblem. There's a lot of varying personalities into this. Like, yeah, we have the love-struck hero. Or gigolo would be the better term for it. Or no, let's go with what the Persona 4 anime calls him, man whore. Excuse me, you're blocking the road. Yeah, get these damn horses out of this way. I can't move aside from these guys. Wow, were they just blocking the very entrance? It's like they planned this or something. No one leaves. Your part. Hey, no fair, Kit. I saw her first. Oh, great. We're stuck in the love triangle. Yeah, it seems there's no decent men. Yeah, me too. Let's go. Come on, we'll jump over those horses. Screw them. Also, you may notice here by my commentary, I'm not exactly doing this live. Yeah, I could potentially do this live, but I've been thinking about this for a while. If I ever did a Fire Emblem Let's Play, I don't think that post-commentary would be, or no, I didn't think that live commentary would be appropriate for this sort of thing. And I found that post-commentary, at least I have the ability to, like, access the internet when I can, and, like, search up information on these units, and I can do all the research that I can beforehand. And I can say, focus on this, and these are more or less going to act as sort of advanced podcasts, because really, I'm just watching my raw footage again. Well, raw footage, and I rendered it in Sony Vegas already, but yeah, I add the commentary later, so I think I got this planned out. This will be the first time I ever do this sort of thing, because I believe the last time I did post-commentary was, like, the first time I ever did a Let's Play. Wow, that's been such a long frickin' time. Alright, so basically that guy is trying to hunt us down for some various reason, and apparently they know Lyn's real name, which is Lindis. Well, I say real name when I mean just her actual name, not her nickname. Oh, yeah, no problem. I'll command you to just... Okay, cool. Yeah, you and I will lead because I apparently merge with Lyn every single time a battle starts. Yes, I am called Ikami, if... yeah. Oh, that name. I don't know why they're giving us this tutorial again. The blue units are... Yeah, blue units are your side, red units are the other side, so command the blue units. But there was one little tidbit that came from that tutorial that kind of made the series a bit infamous, or famous, actually. Also, here is Sain's stats. Apparently he's very good at strength. And Cavaliers, in comparison with regular units on foot like Lyn, gets a movement of 7 rather than 5 because, well, they're on horseback. So let's see Sain beat this guy up with a lance, and judging by that battle screen, it looks like it can't turn out well. See? You suck. At least you get 1 pity experience point, so, yeah, props to you. The lance is more yeah, sure. Your heroism over your own life. Right. That makes complete and total sense. How were you accepted into the Force again? Or hell, into the coat of arms? Yeah, who cares about shopping for weapons that I can use for combat? I'd rather just hit on some pretty ladies. In some respects, I understand that. Some. But Kent, being the nice guy he is, he's gonna give him a sword. Even though I don't think it was in his inventory for that, but oh well. I don't even know how he manages to give that over to him. Did he just throw it or something? Here, take this sword! And then hits a bandit right in the head. Okay, here's one of the most important tutorial for, or one of the more important tutorials for this game, the weapons triangle. The weapons go by a sort of rock, paper, scissors mechanic, but each weapon at least has their own properties. Also, here's Kent's stats. He's very balanced in comparison with Sain. But, the weapon triangle, goes... If you think the weapons has a sort of rock, paper, scissors effect, as in, certain weapons would beat others, then, well, swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. But the thing is, all the different weapons have their own different types of properties. Like, the sword is probably the most well-balanced out of... no, wait. The sword is weaker than the other two weapons, but it has the higher accuracy, while the axe has really low accuracy, but packs a punch. Like, as you can see, like, sword against axe, 100% versus 16%. Who do you think is gonna hit? And the lance acts as a sort of in-betweener. So let's give Sain another chance, now that he has a sword, so... Yeah, let's beat up this bandit, shall we? Oh, yeah, 10? Yeah, let's do this. Dude, you had a 13% chance of missing! How do you screw up that badly? Oh well, at least he dodged this time, so he didn't get another axe to the face. I can't believe you evade my sword stroke so easily. It's so graceful. I guess another thing to note is that Cavaliers wield 2 different weapons, which are lances and swords. Although, Lyn is the only one that... Well, our first unit, of course, was Lyn, and she only could wield a sword. We'll get multiple units that will actually be able to wield more than just 2 weapons. But, I don't know if there are any, characters that could wield 3 different types of weapons, though. I'm not entirely certain. Alright, so there's a reason why Sain missed, other than incompetence, but it was because the fighter was, or the bandit was actually hiding in woods. The woods actually give you a good accuracy boost, and I think a defense boost. We'll see as soon as the cursor highlights over it. Alright, so Ken has to bail him out again. Oh, yeah, there's some defense, just by 1, though. But, alright, let's let Ken do the dirty work. There you go. There. Also, this little bit is also railroaded, so yeah. Basically, whenever you got those tutorial stuff that comes up, then you're just going through a whole railroaded scenario. In, I believe, the next chapter, we actually have some bit of free range for when we actually do our move, so you have the potential of letting your units die. Also, I forgot to mention that the thing that made Fire Emblem at least... Yeah, the infamous or famous, I guess, is the permadeath mechanic. When a unit dies, they're dead for good, and there's no way to bring them back unless you're playing Shadow Dragon, where you have one chance to bring back one unit. So, but they're kind of mitigating that in the newer Fire Emblem games, and because Awakening introduced... Heroes of Light and Shadow introduced the casual mode, which was then applied to Awakening, but we never got Heroes of Light and Shadow, so our first instinct of casual mode was Awakening. And I think they're adding this new mode called Phoenix mode in Fire Emblem Fates. Okay, so because Sain failed a lot, we are gonna give him a vulnerary. So there is a reason why Lyn was carrying 2 vulneraries rather than just, well, you know, keeping the 1. Although she was planning on going to this journey alone, so yeah, maybe packing 2 vulneraries was a good decision on her part. So I don't know why they have this much tutorial just to establish press A a couple times and then B when you're done. And I think at this point I was like, I wanted to give him the 2-1 because, well, he deserves it. But yeah, you can trade with any of your allied units. And also, one interesting thing about the Cavaliers is that after they do a move like either changing up their items or trading with another, they can also move again. But seeing as though it matches up with how much movement they have left when they're moving, as you can see, it's a rather pathetic movement range. It's not like they can move their full range again. The horses need to get tired after all. Alright, so now the chapter will continue as normal. The one other thing they introduce is that the status screen, which gives you your goals as well as what you're supposed to do. I keep you all in mind when I'm playing through this game, so I always provide the info whenever I can and whenever I need to. I know I did that with the status screen with particular units as well. I don't know if there was anything... Oh yeah, there was one thing that I was missing as far as the status screen, is that you could also highlight the person's name and the type of class they represent. And here's a big boneheaded move on my part. So yeah, Sain isn't the only bonehead for that one, although I could call this Sain's incompetence, but Lyn could have easily just stayed there. But yeah, the bandit managed to move in and, well, attack Sain again. So let's get Kent to bail him out again. I'm just keeping up with this, aren't I? Alright, Sain, you can, or, wait, what am I doing? No, you could have let Sain do it, me, what have you done that? That's the thing about doing post-commentary, you have to watch yourself do all this stuff again. And especially when you don't remember exactly what you have done. Alright, so here's me being smart and actually putting Sain in a friggin' woods. So now the bandit's accuracy is crap. Yeah. I think, okay, so one thing that you should know whenever I'm playing Fire Emblem is I always try and give units the most experience possible, as in I plan out who deserves the experience over another. So I was deciding whether or not I should give it to Ken or Sain, because I knew that either of them would have defeated the bandit anyways. So I chose Sain in this case because he hasn't killed a unit, while Ken, I think, killed 2 or 1. I don't remember. Okay, but that was the last backup unit, so now it's just to take the fight into Sagoo. And they switch up the music as well to this bolder, you are about to win victory music. Yeah, the mission goal of this screen is just to defeat all the enemies on the screen. Alright, so here's a strategy for when I'm dealing with these bandits, because they're, or at least with the head bandits. Because the ones with character sprites and the ones that actually talk to you, they're the ones that are the bosses of them. And he is level 4 in comparison with Lyn being level 2 and Kent and Sain being 1. So I always whittle them down with another character, and then I kill them with a character that can do the job, that can finish the job, and the one that deserves the most experience as well. If you remember Bada, he actually gave us a lot of experience points, and well, this guy will be no different. I always try to level up my lords as best as I can because, well, the lords are going to be the required units, and when they die, the whole game ends. So I try to give them as much experience as possible while trying to balance them with the other units on the field. Also, there's an interesting thing about this CG here. If you look to the right, you see a hooded man with his hair sticking out. That's supposed to be you, the tactician. Yeah, that is I believe the only instance where you're shown on camera rather than, you know, as that green sprite. So, yeah, savor it, I guess. There are CGs in this game. I think they were building up with the visual novel motif in mind. I don't know. The only other game I can think of that is related to this is like Sengoku Rons, which I think my friends would be the only people who would give me more details about that. But, yeah. Who knows? So, why are these knights over here looking for Lyn? Well, apparently the Marquis of Kalen, or the Marquis Kalen's daughter, fled with another man, and, well, that happened 18 years ago. But apparently, the Marquis got wind that that daughter of his actually had a daughter of her own, so he has a granddaughter. So, those knights are looking for her because it's possible that the granddaughter may die on the eventually because, well, his daughter died already. So that is what the knights here are for. I hope I nailed that sentence well because I am not entirely certain myself. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Even though I have no idea how old Sain and Ken are, they may be in the same level range or same age range against that. They never really established ages in Fire Emblem, really. They do it a couple of times. But there's a reason why she was surprised that she was called Lindis, because that's her actual name, rather than just Lyn. But apparently that name holds a lot more meaning, because that is the daughter of the Marquis of Kalen. So, I do not know how inheritance works, but I guess it's... If I'm going to bring up any comparison, it would be like the Fae Clan and Phoenix Wright, because there's the main family and the sister family. But, oh well, that was apparently sent by Lord Lundgren, so let's make our way over to Kalen, and, well, hopefully we can get to the bottom of things. I don't know what exactly our first goal was, but I think it was just we're journeying forth. Yep. I know it's going to be dangerous, but I'm going with you anyways. It's been dangerous. We've been attacked by dudes with axes already. In fact, we've been dealing with only dudes with axes. Whew. It's weird. Doing post-commentary like this is actually like watching a movie. But, yeah, that concludes this part of Fire Emblem for the Game Boy Advance. I don't know what to call this, really. I'll just call it Fire Emblem. But I'll see you guys next time for part 2 when we continue on our journey over to Kalen. See you, everyone.